Back on Morning Scramble right here in Northern Arizona, I'm Sandy Moss. I have with me a woman I met in Tucson a year ago, Melissa Bowersock. Nice to have you on.
Well, it's nice to be here. Thanks for inviting me.
You are an author?
I am.
Lucky number 13 is
actually,
out, right?
This is 12.
Another one?
This is 12.
You're on Lucky number 13.
13 is done, but it's not produced yet.
Got it. Yeah. Okay, so this is Lucky number 12.
Right.
For those who are maybe a little nervous about 13. You know, that's a lot. You're rather prolific with your books, Melissa.
Well, it seems like it, but you have, I mean, my first book was published in 1984, so...
Oh, you stretched this out a while.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's not, you know, like a book a year or anything like that.
And what kind of books do you write primarily?
Do you know, primarily novels. I have 11 novels and 1 nonfiction. And I write whatever kind of story strikes me. I've got romance, I've got adventure, I've got satire, I've got spiritual, I've got paranormal.
You're like a Renaissance woman.
Yeah.
You know, Michael Crichton was like that. Every single book was about a completely different subject.
That's true, it was, wasn't it?
Yeah. He would just get interested in something else. Well, I love this. Your nom de plume is, can we say it?
Sure.
Amber Flame.
Yes, for one book, my satire of romance novels, it's called The Pits of Passion by Amber Flame. Totally different from anything else I've ever written.
I mean, was that fun to write?
It was a blast. And I have to say, some people think it's a regular romance novel. It's not, because I lampoon every aspect of the genre. So if somebody loves romance novels, they probably shouldn't read this.
Maybe don't read. Did you have to do a lot of research?
No.
Oh,
no.
Okay.
At the time, I was reading a lot of romance novels, and I just kind of took every aspect of the genre, took it to the nth degree, you know.
Just kind of fun with it.
Yeah.
Well, I read a couple, and it seemed like this is the scenario. Boy meets girl. Girl hates boy, boy loves girl, girl decides she loves boy, then he doesn't like her, and then finally they have to get it together.
Oh, sure. But
it's
you have to have that tension in there.
Well,
you know?
my mom always said, run, they chase, chase, and they run. So maybe it's kind of that same kind of thing going on.
It is.
Yeah.
The only thing is, you've heard the term bodice rippers.
Yes.
Okay. Well, this book is a literal bodice ripper, because at one point, the gal goes to her closet to get a dress to wear, and she pulls one out, and oh, the bodice is ripped, throws it on the floor. Pulls out another, oh, the bodice is ripped, throws it on the floor, you know.
Very, very funny. Yeah. But a lot of stuff. How did you get started writing, Melissa?
Do you know, I have always written. I started writing stories when I was 5. And they were about bunny rabbits then, and I've graduated to other things, you know.
Did you think you would be a writer?
I did. I always did. Yeah. I don't know why. It's just I can't not write.
It was your calling.
Yeah.
Very neat. Have you done like another kind of job in between your writing?
You know, I've always had a day job. I worked for the phone company for 21 years. I worked for the National Observatory for 17 years. So I've always had a day job.
Very fun. I bet the phone company was a good fodder for stories. I mean, you'd hear, of course, in the old days, it used to be party lines, and the operator was on listening to what was happening.
Yeah.
Of course, that wouldn't have been your time, but
well, I have always sworn that I was going to write a book about the phone company, and I've just never gotten around to it.
Yeah, that would be a fun story.
Stories, yes.
Oh, yeah, an operator getting all the scoops. So Burning Through, just out, what is this about, Melissa?
This is a paranormal. It's about a woman and her husband that move into a restored Victorian home and find out that it's haunted, and that the ghost has a penchant for setting fires.
Oh, that could be a little bit dangerous.
That's it, yeah, it gets a little touchy, yeah.
And the idea, where do you get ideas like that?
Well, do you know, it was really funny. This one was just a breakthrough. I wrote this book in 39 days, and I've never written a book that fast. And it was the funniest thing, because my last book before this was also a ghost story, and a friend of mine who's a writer was writing a ghost story, and she asked me if I would beta read her book, and I said sure, and she said, I don't want to read yours yet because I don't want it to bleed through into mine, because she was still working on hers. And I said, well, what's yours about? And she said, well, it's about a house that's haunted, but there's 2 ghosts, and one's good and one's evil. That's all she told me. So that just kind of, you know, rolled around in my brain for a couple of days. And I think the thing that writers are so quick to do is, if I was going to tell that story, I would do, you know, and And my brain just kind of took off with it. And about 3 or 4 days later, I had so much in my brain, I had to start writing it down. And I mean, it was like every day I'd get new ideas and pieces would fall into place, because you've got the story of the living people and then you've got the story of the ghost and how they intersect and everything. And every day I would get more stuff and just write it all down. And in 39 days I was done, and I thought, how the heck did that happen? I've never done that before.
Sometimes you feel channeled. I saw Elizabeth Berg at LA one time talking, and some people ask her, so how do you write books? She said, it's magic. And sometimes
yes.
you feel like it just drops in on you, I imagine.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
But you have to work at it. Stephen King says the muse is in the basement. It's there, but sometimes
Yes.
you have to dig for it.
Well, and to me it's kind of like a tap, because sometimes you turn it on and maybe you only get drips, you know, and you kind of have to keep working at it. But like with this one, you turn it on and it just flows. And I don't know how to explain it. And you can't control it. You know, it comes when it wants to.
I know, and some of the characters do what they want.
They do, absolutely.
Crazy.
Absolutely.
All right, so we'll be looking for your next project. Meanwhile, they can find your books online.
Online.
We've got that, I think, newmoonrising.net.
Newmoonrising.net, Amazon, Barnes & Noble, any online bookstores, they're there.
Excellent. Well, and you have a book we'll be talking about later, too, that is a nonfiction.
Right.
Melissa Bowersock, nice to have you on with us.
Yeah, thanks you so much.
Thanks.